I had no clue how to make a drink, but I did it anyway. And if you're looking to make a product or have had an idea and you just want to get started now, this one's for you, because I'm going to tell you what happened behind the scenes from beginning to end to actually launching this product that started from just an idea to now being live. You see, I quit alcohol a couple years ago, and at that point in time, I was looking for an alcohol alternative. Some refer to this as a mocktail. Some of these brands call themselves a social tonic. So I was checking the market. I wanted to see what was out there and what this hype was all about. And I tried every product I could get a hold of, and either it tasted like shit or there was no effect, or both. It just felt lazy. Nothing was giving this damn, this really works kind of feeling that I was looking for. Of course, being an entrepreneur, I start to question this, and I think to myself, can I do this? Can I do this without any experience and not knowing anything? Can I make a better product? Of course, the short answer is maybe, but in terms of like long-term, what's necessary, it's a tough road. So of course, I'm building a drink and I don't know where to start. And, I start with practical questions. Am I making this in my kitchen? Am I buying powders off the internet and just stirring it up? I'm looking for YouTube videos. I'm finding nothing, okay? And I start to think, what is the first process I need to start taking in order to actually do this outside of testing what's already out there? So like any entrepreneur, I'm going to start doing a research first, right? So I'm Googling, all right, how do you make a drink? Where do you buy the ingredients? And of course, I'm seeing all kinds of lists. And at the same time, what I'm seeing also is labs that do this. Fortunately, for where we are at this point in time, there's a lot of companies out there offering these services. Unfortunately, they're going to charge a lot. And simultaneously, during this process, I'm also sharing this idea with friends and family, just getting feedback, seeing, hey, would you buy this? If I made this drink and it tasted like this, would you drink it? And most of this noise was negative. It was anything from, hey, the market is too saturated, don't do it, it's too competitive, all the way to it's too expensive. You don't know what you're doing. You've never done this before. And I get it. They're not wrong. The drink space is cutthroat. It is dominated by billion-dollar brands. But I just put that noise on the shelf because that's what you got to do if you want to see something through. You can get the feedback, but don't let that be the wall if you believe in it. So I started emailing these labs, and yeah, it's expensive. Anything from $15,000 to $20,000 to just make the formula. No product, no packaging, no design. Just the formula. So then I thought about, all right, if I can't afford this, which I couldn't, what is the next best route? Now, here's the thing. I was looking on Google, and Google ranks, these different searches by SEO, marketing, clicks, etc. So I knew if I just continued to scroll down, I may find somebody on a lower end that's trying to rank themselves up and make more money that may offer a different price than what I was finding. And although I didn't find a lab, I found a consulting agency that specializes in helping people want to build a drink. So I call them up and the guy tells me, yeah, I could do this. I can tell you everything A to Z on how to build this drink, and it's only going to cost you $11,000. So almost 50% cheaper if I go through this guy and he's going to show me everything A to Z. All right, yeah, I'll do that. So I start the steps with him, and he ends up connecting me to a guy he knows that has a lab by himself, and he will build this formula for $3,500. Now, obviously, here's the thing. I know I paid $11,000 for somebody to tell me, hey, this guy's going to do it for $3,500. But it's knowledge I didn't have, right? So it's going through this process, and simultaneously, I'm still saving money from working with a lab that was going to charge me $20. Now I start working with this formula guy, and I'm basically telling him what I'm looking for. Hey, I'm looking to put these ingredients into this kind of drink. This is the flavor I'm aiming for. Can we make this drink have an effect? And I also tell him, hey, this is the sector of the market I want to enter. I want it to be a non-alcoholic drink, but at the same time, I know these ingredients I'm putting into this drink have an effect on focus as well. So I tell him, can we put these ingredients into this drink and not make it taste bad from all these other drinks that I found on the market that currently don't wow me? It doesn't give this effect of like, all right, I'm going to remember this. And not only that, I'm going to tell others about this. I basically told him that's the goal I want to hit. He understood immediately what I was trying to do, and so he gets to work and he starts developing these different samples. Simultaneously, while he's doing that, I start to work on the design. And Being an entrepreneur for over 10 years now and building another brand, I know that I don't necessarily have to design it by hand, but with the idea I have, I can just share this with a contract designer, which you can find on many different platforms online, and start working on that while he's working on the samples. And you could do this for as low as a couple $100. Several weeks later, he comes back now with this new formula and drink and sends me the samples, and it's great. Taste is on point, effects are there, and I tell him, all right, yeah, I think we got it. Let's move to what is this gonna cost, right? So he gives me the vendor sheet of who carries all these ingredients, and I start doing the homework of, okay, let me call these guys and see how much these ingredients are going to cost. Well, these vendors are also the same companies that sell to the bigger billion-dollar brands. And so they don't just sell little 1 or 2 cups of ingredients, because at the same time, I know in my head, I'm not going to do a run of 50 or 100,000 cans. My plan is to do, or what at least I can afford, is to do 5,000 cans. So I need enough ingredients to fill 5,000 cans. The formula guy gives me the spreadsheet, and it's basically has formulas where, okay, you just input the number of cans you want, and it'll break down how much ingredients you need for each ingredient and which vendor supplies them. I contact the vendors and I tell them, hey, I would like X amount of this ingredient for this many cans. I start emailing the vendors, hey, I need this amount of ingredients for this many cans, and they start coming back and telling me, listen, we don't do small amounts. The minimum size is in pounds and kilograms. And they're showing me the prices. And for each ingredient, on average, it's looking $3,000 to $5,000. And there's many ingredients that I have in this new beverage. We're talking 20 to 25 different ingredients. So you can do that math. Now, here's the thing. I don't have that amount of money for all these ingredients. And I'm not going to stop. So I tell these vendors, hey, I don't know who's even going to buy this drink. I'm just testing it out right now. I have 5,000 cans. What do we need to do? How can we make this work? And it's all about the ask. You'll never know unless you ask. And guess what? The majority came back and said, all right, we can give you sample sizes that should be enough for those cans. So not only did I not have to pay, I now have enough, or at least 50% of these vendors coming back, giving me free samples to do the minimum run I was planning to do. But then I realized getting these ingredients is the easy part. So I have my ingredients now, I have my cans, I need to bring them together. According to my consulting guy that I paid, he's telling me I need to start working with a co-packer. And again, the hurdle I'm facing is the co-packers I'm finding and researching, none of them will do anywhere near this size. It's 20,000 plus cans is the minimum run for them. And I'm stressing out a little bit because these cans are now complete. The manufacturer's wanting to ship them. I don't know where to put them. So I call the consulting guy and I tell him, hey man, listen, I need some help here. Do you know anyone? You're in this space. Help me out here. I'm paying you because you have the knowledge, not me. Again, going for the ask. Never stop to ask. He calls me back and tells me I found one. Great. So I call this co-packer and I tell him this is the run I want to do. He will do it, but the price is extremely high once again. The main reason why is because the setup time is the most expensive part. Once it's running, you can just blast through thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of cans if you wanted to. But the setup portion is where you're paying the bulk of the money. Going back for a second, the whole goal of this initial run was to test market fit this product. I wasn't trying to make profit. I wanted to just know, would people buy this? Would they like it? Actually, fuck liking. Would they love it? That was the goal. Would people buy something if they loved it? Would they pay this price for it? I make the deal with the guy, send him all the cans, send him the ingredients, and he starts to make the product. He gives me a date on when he's going to do the pilot run. And guess what? More problems. During production, their processes made me lose 50% of my formula. And that's when it hit me hard. No one's going to give a shit as much as you do. And no one's going to fix it for you. You need to figure out the solution. So of course, I'm a human being and I'm going through my emotions and I'm thinking, how do I have this conversation with this guy? He comes back and he tells me, listen, this is kind of the process. You're going to lose some, this and that. And I know nothing. I tell him, listen, I don't know why we didn't have this conversation prior to us doing this, but it doesn't matter. That's the past. How do we resolve this moving forward? This is obviously not my error. Again, going for the ask. And I tell him, what can you do? Well, how can you help me out here? And he says he'll do another small run if I remix the ingredients. Okay, cool. So now I know I have another 2,500 cans that I could fill, but I don't have the ingredients. And for right now, forget those. Let's just focus on the 2,500 that was produced. I want to get to market. I want to get to market fast. I want to put it out there. I want to see people's reaction. And because now my budget is already extremely low, I'm looking at the best place to put this to get the mass amount of exposure. And again, I'm not looking for profit. So of course, I turned to Amazon. I set up my Amazon account. It took a few weeks for approval and different things like that. And then I send my product to Amazon. It took another few weeks for it to actually become live. During this process, I set up a landing page and threw a little money in Facebook ads and Instagram ads and letting people know that this drink was coming soon. So I had an email list ready to go when it was live. So as soon as I saw it on Amazon, I put the email out there and people started buying it. Not a crazy mass movement, it was a slow trickle, but I started to get feedback. And that's what made it all worth it. Seeing this product come to life from just an idea, getting the feedback that people love it. Not just friends and family, but from an email list. An email list I cultivated from nothing, with no product, just a teaser on Facebook and Instagram. People were looking for something new. So here's what I learned the hard way. Verify everything. Don't assume everyone knows what they're doing. Not the labs, not the co-packers, not the designers. Ask, confirm, and then confirm again. Your relationships matter more than the contracts because you want to build that trust. That's what the most important thing is in the beginning. Contracts is a contract, but who is this person? Can I work with them? Can I build a relationship with this person? Expect to lose money in the beginning. You're not going to turn a profit. If you don't know about something and you're going through this learning phase, it's going to cost. But just keep in the back of your mind, this is a part of the process. There is no other way out or no other road to take outside of spending the money to learn. Don't chase perfect, chase the proof. If you're designing and building something, don't keep focusing on, oh, is this the perfect it can be and beats everybody? You have to believe in it. Once you believe in it, once it tastes good to you or whatever it is that you're making, start testing it with the world. You can start with friends and family, but start exposing it. Don't be afraid to share it out there. It's not as easy for someone to see it and want to go do it themselves. Trust me, 99.99% of people are too lazy to do something and they'll just try to copy and end up failing. But if you are driven to see your product or design come to life, don't be afraid to share it. In terms of a consumable product like a drink, the flavor is the king. If people don't like it, they don't give a shit what the effect is. Your flavor must be there. Experience is everything. Everything needs to give some kind of wow factor. They need to remember it. If they don't remember it, they're not going to share it with anyone. And be different. Do not copy what's out there. At this point in time, there's millions and millions of people that are making their own products and everyone's copying each other and putting a different name on it. Be different. You want to separate from the noise. This is most important when you're starting your idea. So as I mentioned, we're in the Amazon phase and I'm testing market fit on Amazon and still trying to understand where this brand fits and building that awareness to the target demographic. The biggest question for me is, how do I make people understand this drink? The brand I created, this name is not something you'd see associated with this type of drink, and also just the drink itself. Nootropics is fairly new and it's trending right now a little, but people don't really know what it is. And it's also about building that awareness that this is not just an alcohol alternative. It's a focused drink, letting people know it can do both things simultaneously. So the question isn't, can you build a drink brand with no experience? The question is, can you make the world know about it?